Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, government office closed early as well as businesses in the private sector. Functions in the afternoon were postponed and the Transport Board shut down its operations just after 5 o'clock. All of this as Barbadians prepared for Tropical Storm Harvey later tonight and early tomorrow. Well, earlier this morning, a tropical storm warning was issued for the island by the Met Office, and meteorologist Wayne McGarry joins us live now to give us the latest on the system. Wayne, over to you.
Hey, blessed good evening to you, Lisa, and of course to our viewers. Now, the tropical cyclone number 9, the potential tropical cyclone number 9 was upgraded to Tropical Storm Harvey at 5 p.m. Now, this system was located 13.1 north, 55.8 degrees west, which is approximately 250 miles to the east of Barbados. Now, maximum sustained winds are in the vicinity of 40 miles per hour with some higher gusts. Now, on this present track, the center of Tropical Storm Harvey is expected to pass near or over Barbados by early tomorrow, approximating sometime around 8 a.m. tomorrow. Now, deteriorating conditions with pockets of moderate to heavy showers, thunderstorms, and gusty winds are likely to spread across the island later tonight and into tomorrow. We see rainfall accumulations of approximately 3 to 5 inches, which is approximately 75 to 125 millimeters, are likely with some possible higher amounts across some sections of the island. Now, swells as well we see in the vicinity of 2.5 to 3 meters, which is approximately 8 to 10 feet, are also likely with the passage of this system. So of course we will continue to keep you updated. You have to continue to take all the necessary precautions. Flooding, of course, is also likely, so those of you who live in flood-prone areas should continue to take the necessary precautions you would take when conditions like these occur. And I'll give you a bit more a little later in the news. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, viewers.
Thanks, Wayne. Well, Bridgetown was buzzing this afternoon as Barbadians got wind of the approaching system. Shane Jones was with some of them in the city.
After 3:30 this afternoon, Barbadians started to filter into the Fairchild Street bus terminal with audible murmurs about the 5 o'clock time for the last bus. Just across the road, through building traffic, many flocked to Jordan's supermarket to get some last-minute food items. But not everyone was too worried about the impending weather.
Actually, it's normally stocked before the hurricane season comes. I buy, and every month I just interchange the old stuff, use all the new stuff, come in and continue.
I don't think this could save us, because I think we should always be prepared, if you understand what I'm saying. Because as far as it was made to understand, the other morning I woke up and listened to the news and I heard we had an earth tremor, if you understand what I'm saying. So I just doing my natural thing, because we don't know what's going to happen next couple of hours. But all the time in this type of climatic conditions, we need to be very careful, because it's not like before in the 20s, the 40s, the 60s. The climatic conditions has changed over the years. So we need to be prepared every day of our lives.
Others saw the situation as an opportunity to make a dollar.
No, only save my little daughter. She called me this morning, she want these things. So just getting her for she. But they better know, I understand, bosses done the work early. So I'm just looking for a little work tonight. You understand? You're working 24 hours. So then everybody go off the road.
We tried one hardware store in the area, but like many other businesses around the island, this one was already closed. Stay tuned to CBC News for more weather information. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Well, weather forecasts have spoiled plans for the opening ceremony of Carifesta 13 tomorrow. In a message released from Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth, Stephen Lashley, he explains rehearsals and flights would be impacted.
The national response ahead of the system has forced the cancellation of the mandatory dress rehearsal, which was scheduled to be held at Kensington Oval this evening. In addition to that, immediate measures have had to be taken to safeguard equipment at the venue. We do know that the airport will most likely be impacted by possible closure. Indeed, some flights would have been impacted, and some delegations due to arrive in Barbados would have been delayed. A new date for the opening ceremony will be announced as soon as possible. What I can also assure the public that all arrangements previously announced in terms of tickets and arrangements for entry to the opening ceremony will be honored on the new date to be announced very shortly.
And as you heard, a new date for the ceremony will be announced as soon as possible. The minister confirms the remainder of the CARIFESTA 13 calendar so far remains unchanged, including the Grand Market starting this Saturday. While some tourism-related benefits are benefiting, businesses are benefiting from the increased number of people expected on the island for the festival. They say it's a big boost for them economically in what is traditionally a slow period. With the official start of CARIFESTA just 1 day away and thousands of delegates expected on island for the event, small hotels have started to see the benefits. Executive Director of Intimate Hotels of Barbados, Gail Headley-Lowe, says the 10-day festival is already shaping up to be fantastic for the properties. She tells CBC News delegates, people coming in for the Grand Market and consultants who were on island for the early planning have opted to stay at properties on the south coast.
They're getting group bookings plus some individual bookings as well. They're also, some of them are carrying marketing collateral, so decorating the hotel with, artistic pieces and banners to represent CARIFESTA. So it's overall going to be beneficial for them. It's additional foreign exchange during a period of time that would usually be quiet.
One of those benefiting is Infinity on the Beach. Reservations supervisor Thea Renee says they had several queries early on and a group booked their stay on Friday.
Well, 87 persons will be staying with us here at Infinity on the Beach, and then I would have had to book some other properties, Dover, Rostrevor, Maribel and Monterey, to accommodate the entirety of the group. It's a very large group coming from Haiti.
And the news is mixed for the car rental sector. Quite a few places say they haven't seen any bookings that could be related to the festival, including Owen Curtin at Southern Rentals.
Well, business was pretty good up to the end of crop over, but for CARIFESTA itself, we haven't recorded any bookings.
But that was not the case over at Drive-O-Matic Car Rentals, where operations manager Dennis Mahan says there have been some bookings, but nothing along the likes of what's seen during crop over. Speaking to the CBC via telephone, Mr. Mahan says things are typically slow after the season and any business after is welcomed. He says 7-seater vans are the most popular of the company's fleet right now. Well, as we go back to news surrounding the system approaching Barbados, it was evident from a look at the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex that something was amiss. Several boats were packed into the compound where owners hoped they would ride out the weather safely. Okay, it appears that we don't have that story. Well, we go on. The Community Development Department is on board with an initiative at St. John to make sure that that community is not left out of the CARIFESTA festivities. Huddersfield in St. John will be the location for the Taste of Bajan Village event and a sunset concert, and that's going to be held on the 26th of August. Member of the Planning Committee, Terry Ann Reid, says it's an event that will cater to everyone.
This event promises to be an extravaganza of all things Bajan, converging with all things Caribbean. And we encourage all Barbadians to come and enjoy the festivities and embrace the cultural infusions.
And as we said before, the Community Development Department is on board with that initiative. Program Coordinator Bridget Marshall-Griffith says the event gives the organization a number of opportunities.
This fits nicely into what we do at the Community Development Department. We do a number of programs, skill programs, where we teach persons skills that they can turn into income-generating activities. And we see this as an opportunity where we can not only market what we do at the Community Development Department, but hopefully find markets for our clients.
And artist Pedro Tate says he's looking forward to the event.
Actually, yes. On the 26th, the pieces that will be on display, there will be some that will be up for sale as well. There will be more than what you see here. We will bring up some more and put some prices on them so that the public they're free to purchase anything they see that they like and want to have.
Well, now back to that story about the boats in the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex and other fishing villages across the island as the boat owners prepare for the impending weather. Some boat owners around the island moved quickly to secure their vessels. The fisheries complex in Bridgetown was filled with boats, many of them the bigger vessels from Oistins. President of the Fisherfolk organization, Vernell Nichols, tells CBC News the owners of the smaller boats opted to haul theirs up and store them at Oistins. Ms. Nichols adds that owners at Weston and Six Men's use the facilities at Port St. Charles. Meantime, a CBC team visited the fishing villages along the east coast just after lunchtime. We caught up with one owner who opted not to give his name just as he came back from a day at sea. After offloading his catch, he anchored his vessel among about 11 others which were on the water. And it appears that's where they will be left.
They left the whole, they better stay. Then we will decide that. Right now, we on a standby. But the best place for weather is Bonnie Line, for any weather. But that's all I can tell you for now.
John Payne operates one of the vessels for his son, and he's hoping for the best.
When systems come that the dangerous, the fishing structures usually come around in all the boats. But one of them in today, and he mentioned about hauling the boats. So all we could do is let us down there and hope for the best for them. This morning I went and look at the chain, because all the type of chains, or the majority type of chains, you know, and they find that the chain are more worn. I put on 2 ropes on it to help secure it. I believe that should, hopefully that would do the job.
Nichols says by now the boat owners know how to prepare in the event that a system affects the island, adding that they're always on the alert to protect their investment. The idea of employing young people as a means of keeping them away from crime will be a key topic of discussion when the Barbados Workers Union holds its 76th Annual Delegates Conference. Word of this from BWU General Secretary Tony Moore. She says, in light of the recent spate of violent incidents, the discussion must not only focus on stamping out crime, but discovering the root cause of it.
I think that many of us are looking at the end game and looking at the whole objective of reducing crime simply as minimizing the amount of guns and weapons that are available to young people. But I think that more constructively our discussion has to be around how do we plan to engage young people in a meaningful enough way that will keep them on the straight and narrow that we would want to see them on.
Under the theme, The Future We Want, the Executive Council intends to bring 5 resolutions before the 650 workers expected to attend this year's conference. In light of projections that the retirement age may be increased to 70, Ms. Moore says there will also be a resolution on benefits for people with more than 30 years left before retirement.
Those younger members that we have particularly have to be concerned with the fact that there is an aging workforce. Not that that itself is a concern, it's a good thing, but with an aging workforce, what sorts of provisions have to be made by the national insurance for ensuring the sustainability of our national insurance scheme as it relates to sustaining our national pension.
The Attorney General has thrown out an appeal to international donors for assistance to bring down the levels of youth unemployment in the Caribbean. Adriel Brathwaite made the call during a regional workshop on the Carry Secure project. He told participants many countries' efforts at addressing the issue are being hampered as they grapple with high levels of debt.
Assistance with debt reduction, the challenge of de-risking factor, among other challenges to our financial systems, which are taking scarce resources from our crime and security strategies, would go a long way towards assisting their continued development. In other words, to me, there's a relationship with us being able to provide the basic needs of our people, in particular our young people, where many of our territories have significant high youth unemployment, and the level of violence that you're seeing among our youth.
The man accused of killing Closton Robinson last month has been charged with murder. Shanley Ferguson Stout of Parish Land in Christchurch appeared at the District B Magistrates Court before Magistrate Laurie Ann Smith Bevell this morning. He's been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison Dodds until September 14th. Mr. Stout, who allegedly shot Robinson in the head on the 28th of July, subsequently surrendered to police. A family from St. Andrew has been selected for the Arawak Home Sweet Home Makeover show. It's an initiative of local film and video production company Blue Waters Production and was launched in May. Barbadians were asked to nominate deserving people, and a panel consisting of the Salvation Army, a humanitarian and other groups reviewed the applications and made the selection. On Saturday, Arawak and its partners will make the official announcement of the chosen family outside of their home. That family is made up of 7 people, and their home will be demolished and rebuilt. They will be relocated while the complete home makeover is taking place. The entire event will be filmed and developed as a TV series for CBC TV8. Partners will also refurbish the home with new furnishings and finishes. Well, when we come back, we'll hear about Barbados joining other countries in the region to fight youth crime.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your Quick Pick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
The globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals. GHS. Be careful. Read the label. It's safety awareness for all people. Be careful and read the label. Safety while using chemicals is our goal. Global labeling, communicating safety information to you. So read your label and please be sure before you pour. The globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals. GHS.
Nestle presents Proud Moms.
What song does a sheep make?
How exciting it is to be able to share the pride you feel. This is why we created the new Nestum Iron Plus, made with 100% natural cereals that in just 2 bowls contribute to more than half the iron your child needs, helping with his cognitive development and probiotics, vitamins and minerals that help with his growth and development.
With the new Nestum Iron Plus, big nutrition for small tummies.
Learn more in Nestle Start Healthy, Stay Healthy.
Distributed by Massey Distribution.
This year's Evening Scholars have been announced, and Jamaicans have taken the lion's share. Of the 15 scholarships funded by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, Jamaicans received 14. The final recipient was a Bermudan. Evening Scholarships fund the studies of young academic leaders pursuing master's degrees at any UK university. The recipients are personally selected by British embassies and high commissions throughout the world. Barbadian Farana Balbulia was among last year's scholarship winners. Well, this story now, their jobs and then their jobs like this one. An unusual nanny job is being advertised on a British childcare website. It's seeking someone to look after 4 children from a wealthy family in their homes in Barbados and other countries for up to £100,000 a year. Now, the couple, who have 4 children, say they will give the perfect candidate a rent-free luxury villa, access to a fleet of sports cars, and dinners for life. The candidates, however, must have a degree in children's psychology, no kids of their own, and at least 15 years experience. The nanny will be asked to constantly monitor the children aged 2, 5, 7, and 15. They will also be required to, quote, know when to take the hint and leave the family alone for quality time, end quote. The potential nanny must also be comfortable with flying, as they could be asked to travel internationally up to 3 times a week. The wealthy family also has houses in England, South Africa and Georgia. Something to think about. Local chefs will again be at the forefront when the 8th Food and Rum Festival comes off in November. They include members of the winning national team in this year's Taste of the Caribbean competition. Tourism Minister Richard Seeley is confident those 6 chefs will complement the 3 international chefs taking part in the event.
Here, local chefs will outnumber their international colleagues. Over 6 of them will have major roles in this year's festival. And Tourism Minister Richard Seeley believes it's a step in the right direction.
The major chefs, the headline chefs, of course, are mainly Barbadian. And I think that is a sign of coming of age. And that doesn't take anything away from the international chefs as well. De La Rosa from Canada is of Trinidadian extraction and very well known. Jan Georges, of course, has his famous restaurant in Columbus Circle in New York City. So we have international chefs as well. So you still have the combination, the exchange, the interplay of the local with the international. But we are still saying that we think that we are not only saying that we are the culinary capital of the Caribbean, but we are saying that we have the talent, the homegrown talent, to back up that claim.
CEO of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., William Griffith, says the festival will continue to promote Barbados as a tourist destination.
It's also the 2nd year since we rebranded as Food and Rum. And it really is to highlight our indigenous spirit and the word of the day, which is rum. So this strategic shift on rum is representative of our in-house marketing efforts to promote those unique elements that have made Barbados the destination of choice for an average of more than 1 million cruise and air visitors annually for the past 3 years.
During the launch, 18th century characters, including the first U.S. President George Washington, were showcased. The 2017 Food and Rum Festival will run from November 16th to 19th. Rianne Phillips, Cbc News.
Thanks, Rianne. One local hotel is fully on board the health and wellness train. Shane Jones visited Waves Hotel and Spa during its week of activities for staff.
The week of activities is in celebration of the hotel's 1st anniversary. After starting on Sunday with a church service, the Prospect Base in James Hotel, which is part of the Elegant Group, continued with a health fair. Staff were able to benefit from a variety of health products.
We also have Alka-10. They'll be showing us the pH balances of varying bottled waters and comparison to their product. We also have Sagicor on hand to speak about their various benefits and packages for the staff. We also have some nurses from the psychiatric hospital who will be talking about mental health. We have on hand as well, yes, the Barbados Cancer Society. We have the chef here. He's doing live demos in terms of healthy eating. We have some salads here. We have we have lentil cakes. We have sugarless cookies. A whole host of things for the staff to try.
General Manager Kim Lewis is pleased with the staff's response.
The concept of Waves is one of health and wellness, so we found that it is important to incorporate wellness into our week of activities for our staff. So we would have started with a church service. We would have had a lot of activities as it relates to Zumba, line dancing, which all, cultivates into exercise as well. But we also will have presentations, entertainment, music, the frolicking, just to a way to show our gratitude for our team members as it relates to all that they've done to assist with the hotel being so successful within the last year.
Mrs. Lewis says the exercise will help improve customer experience as well as foster personal development.
If we want our staff to, be able to portray this well to our guests, we then need to educate them and, of course, get them to live by what we say we are selling. So health and wellness is very important. So that's why a lot of our week of activities, celebrating the staff, celebrating our success, we would have incorporated health and wellness. So it's very, very important, not only as it pertains to their job, but also to their lifestyle. Because if we have healthy, happy staff, then we get, wonderful, happy guests.
The week of activities finishes on Saturday with line dancing. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Thanks, Shane. And after the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across the region.
You can be a part of history on Friday, August 18th at the amazing opening ceremony right here at Kensington Oval. Yours truly, Puffy, will be here alongside all the cultural delegates putting on an amazing display for the world to see.
Yes, and one big spectacular closing ceremony. You don't know, at a super concert, Sunday the 27th, Kensington Oval, up to all when the stars touch the stage.
And don't forget to follow us on all social platforms and get your tickets at carryfesta.net, ticketlinks.com, or all official box offices, yeah?
And it all goes down right here at Kensington Oval.
Carryfesta 13 Barbados.
I'm an executive protection agent. You're the most wanted hitman in the world. My job is to keep you out of harm's way.
I am harm's way.
27 times. That's how many times you tried to kill me. 28!
Tell us where your husband is.
You're worried about my husband's safety? He's unkillable.
The Hitman's Bodyguard opens Friday, August 18th. Olympus Cinemas, Lime Grove, and Globe Drive-In.
It's all about Carryfesta 2017! Peoples, it's the Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th at the Sir Garfield Sober Gymnasium.
A fella coming up the road, and every time he see his partner, he always bending and walking, bending and walking. His partner say, boy, why is it every time you see me, you just bend and walk? He say, well, I don't want you to say I just pass you straight.
Saturday, August 26th, the Garfield Sober Gymnasium. Peoples, get your tickets from official box offices only.
Dominican economist McCarthy Marie has warned that the country is in the middle of a demographic crisis with more deaths than births in recent years. He believes it's the biggest issue facing the country.
According to information he received from the Central Statistical Office in the year 2014, he says there were 867 births and 612 deaths. In 2015, there were 865 births and 661 deaths.
Less persons were born and 50 more people died. So the addition to the population in 2015 was 205, the addition to the population in 2014 was 255. And if things go along as they are, we will soon have more deaths than births. And already our population has fallen below the replacement level. And I would say, without fear of contradiction, although nobody seems to understand that it's this demographic problem that is Dominica's biggest economic issue.
Marie says the country is slowly dying and public schools are feeling the impact while the workforce is shrinking. Marie supports the idea of an immigration program to boost population numbers.
Our big problem is not an airport or lack thereof, but the fact that we have a demographic crisis where the number of people who are being born each year is declining steadily. The number of people who are dying keeps increasing. And in the short run, it would seem to me the only way to resolve that problem is to have a proper immigration program to get people who are not born in Dominica to come to live here. And you want people who are in the working age to join the workforce so that we have a larger workforce. Thank you.
The economist said the steadily declining population also means the consumer market, or the number of buyers, is shrinking.
Over in Guyana, we're hearing that deviance in the teaching profession is highest among teachers in Region 3.
All teachers in the public service are expected to possess certain qualities and lead by example,
while following stipulated rules, but there seems to be a problem in Region 3, which is recorded to have the highest rate of infractions among public school teachers. That's according to the Guyana Teachers Union representative of Region 3, Julian Cambridge, who told an education workshop on Wednesday that teachers in Region 3 are too frequently hauled before the Guyana Teaching Service Commission following complaints issued against them.
As we are about to start a new school year, I want to challenge you head teachers that let 2017-2018 school year be one where we have less teachers from our school going to Teaching Service Commission. At the GTU level, we receive all the complaints. And it's sad to say that region number 3 has the highest rate of teachers going to the Teaching Service Commission for various disciplinary matters.
He explained that another issue which needs to be addressed at the level of school administrators and head teachers is that of tardiness, stating that as leaders, these seniors need to ensure that they not only talk the talk but walk the walk, so that their subordinates will follow.
As head teachers, as administrators, once we're late on our plant, we can't tell our teachers anything. Once we're late on our plant, we can't tell our teachers anything. Because if you're always late, what are you going to tell me as a junior teacher? And we always have a tendency, if you're in school business. You call a school, oh, HM is not there today, she's on school business.
According to the Region 3 GTU's representative, all teaching staff throughout the region need to be committed to executing their duties, since only then would they be able to truly develop themselves and excel at their jobs.
In Jamaica, a man who was jointly charged with murder was shot dead at the supermarket where he works by an unknown assailant, and it was done in the full view of shoppers and staff. Reports are that the 21-year-old was on the job in the morning when he was approached by the gunman, who opened fire, hitting him several times. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The incident caused customers and workers to scamper for safety. HIV in the Dutch Caribbean and the factors that caused the virus are the subject of a new research project of the AIDS Fund Netherlands. Dr. Anne Wensing of Utrecht University Medical Center and her colleagues will be researching the factors that play a role in the spreading of HIV in Aruba, Curaçao, St. Martin, Bonaire, St. Eustatius, and Saba. The collected data will be used to compile recommendations on how to prevent the spread of the HIV virus on the islands. The Dutch Caribbean project is one of 6 awarded funding by the AIDS Fund, made possible through the donations of its members. The HIV pandemic has been expanding in the Dutch Caribbean. The British Virgin Islands, in the Environmental Health Division there, will be conducting spot checks at supermarkets and restaurants to ensure food safety. The action comes amid concerns retailers may be selling products that were damaged during flooding experienced last week. If contaminated items are found, a condemnation certificate will be given, which will contain information about how many items were disposed and why it was pulled from the shelves. Officials are encouraging consumers to note product packaging and to avoid purchasing items that appear to be waterlogged or to have evidence of contamination. Well, just ahead, we'll give you a peek into the world of sports. But before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Be very aware of your surroundings as the transaction is taking place. If you see anything suspicious, leave the area and report the incident immediately. This ATM safety tip is brought to you in association with the Royal Barbados Police Force.